Hello, my name is Mike Hurt, and welcome to another edition of The Outpost. The mission of The Outpost is we are the Disabled American Veterans, the DAV, and we are Chapter 17, Ray H. Fuller, Winnebago County. The purpose of this show is to share the local mission of what Chapter 17 is engaged with, and also with the personnel. And I got to tell you, it's been really rewarding to be a co-host with this show and see the many activities, how we support the core mission of the organization. And also, you know, it's all about the people. They make all the difference. They make everything happen. So today, I have two very special guests, and I have Julie Hurt. As you can imagine, the name is kind of familiar. Julie is my spouse, and Julie is the Unit 17 commander for Ray H. Fuller Auxiliary, but is also the state commander for the Department of Wisconsin Auxiliary with DAV. And then we also have our good friend Patty Davis, and Patty is the state adjutant for the auxiliary. And plus another thing that's really kind of cool with Patty being here is that she is also the transportation network coordinator for the southern part of the state. So, I can remember before I got involved with DAV, I would see all these vans going down Highway 41, and I really was not sure what those vans were about. And then once I got involved with the organization, that transportation network is a core mission of what we do. And, Patty's going to be able to give us a little look at it, and really how you, the viewer, are able to help out. So, with that, are you ready?
We're ready.
Okay, you're ready. Okay. Yeah, it's a neat episode because DAV itself, we just hit our centennial. We're over 100 years old. But the auxiliary, you guys are just hitting your 100 years of service to the veterans. And I was just wondering if you could share a little bit about what the mission of the auxiliary is. So.
Yes, we were established in 1922. So in 2022, we will be celebrating that with 100th anniversary. So we're pretty excited about that. Our mission is not a whole lot different than actually the DAV. We are a partner organization with them, and we partner together with that same mission in mind, which is what service can we be to disabled American veterans? What can we do to provide them with the best quality of life possible, to treat them with that dignity and respect that they deserve? So our missions really are the same. The neat thing is we work together to accomplish that mission. And it's been a fantastic partnership, and like we said, we've been doing it together for 100 years.
Yeah, it's, and I proudly wear my auxiliary polo shirt because I am a member of the auxiliary as well. And just to, again, that local look, DAV Chapter 17 and auxiliary, we meet the fourth Tuesday of the month. We meet at 6:30, and we'll actually all gather together and just have a little, fun and conversation. And we meet at the Marine Corps League, and then we'll head off into different rooms and we'll meet. But again, there's a lot of collaboration will happen, a lot of discussion. And so it's really enjoyable. I guess, what would be some typical activities? I know we have some great pictures that were forwarded. If we could maybe head into one or two of those. Patty, we were just talking about this before. For our viewers, can you share what this picture is all about? Because I think it's a really great example of the mission.
Sure. It's a picture of receiving donations. Back in August, the VA Center in Milwaukee did a women's veterans baby shower, and they were looking for items. They did 75 women veterans. They were looking for items to make their new baby welcome, or if they have like a young toddler that needed items. So this is one of our units, Red Granite 51. Donated bathtubs, there's strollers, there's diapers, the plugs to cover up the electrical outlets so they can't hurt themselves. And a couple of our other units, they also donated items. I'm the rep at the hospital for the auxiliary, and we donated little travel kits that they can get through TSA or traveling.
Okay. Now, and I think that's a really good point, because with what you're doing, you're recognizing the role of female veterans.
Correct.
And I think that's a really important component of DAV. Now, what do we got going on here?
This is at our national convention in Tampa, Florida. Our members.
Okay, just kind of camaraderie, fun, good time.
Yeah, just a good time. We were out and about in hot weather, Tampa.
Okay, and then next photo real quick. Okay. Patty, could you fill us in a little bit about what's going on here?
Well, at our state fall conference, Ann Palm is our new state junior vice, and I had the great pleasure of swearing her in as being our junior vice for the state.
Well, and I'm going to make a shameless plug for our chapter here, our chapter, DAV Chapter 17. We've been, we did back-to-back chapters of the year for the state of Wisconsin, so we're the top chapter, and we got great people. And should mention that Julie is a unit commander for 17, but Ann Palm is also with Unit 17.
Yep.
So we actually have the state commander and the junior vice coming out of 17, so I think it's a great reflection of the people that we've got here in Winnebago County. So if we could get that next slide up there. Okay, I really want to hone on this for the local viewers, is that, you know, from a unit perspective, you had mentioned working hand in hand with that chapter commander. Now that's a great picture of Rod Claude and you. Rod is our chapter commander here.
Yep.
With the Ray H. Fuller, Winnebago County. And that is you, ma'am. And so what are you guys doing? And just to fill us in.
In this picture here, we're getting ready to do the Memorial Day procession together. And I think one of the neat things that needs to be said, as much as the auxiliary supports and assists our chapter, we could not survive without the support of our chapters. And, you know, we're very lucky with Chapter 17 and Auxiliary 17, the support that the chapter gives back to us as well. But a lot of times you'll see both the commanders and some of the other members will be quite active in these different either parades or processions. And again, in this case, it was the Memorial Day procession.
Okay, and the next couple of pictures are going to be great examples of the local level. There we go. Festival foods, the brat fry. You are the grill master, Miss Julie. Fill us in.
You know, this one This was a hot day. This one, but it was kind of fun. I kind of stepped away from working in the brat barn there a little bit, and you know, we had some forget-me-not sales going down on one end, and went and took over and did some of the cooking and enjoyed this. And this again, you'll see here is a picture of our auxiliary and chapter working together at a brat fry. Some of us all together there at one of them. I believe it was 2 summers ago. Great camaraderie. They're a lot of fun. Great way to meet new people.
Yeah, you know, one of the things I've always found interesting when we have the brat fry, we're always guaranteed to get 1 or 2 new members.
Yep.
And having people come up. I didn't know there was a DAV here, and boom, they'd come on board. Could you kind of give us the next one? That is a delightful couple if I ever saw it. But you know, forget-me-nots are a big part of what we do. And you know, can you give a little sense of the history, either Patty or yourself, Julie, about maybe a little bit of the forget-me-not and what it means and how it works?
The forget-me-not is symbolic of never forgetting that veteran, never forgetting that loved one that served. And it's a big, and it's recognizable and matches up with the mission of DAV. So when you see people out there, in this case, the chef sitting there collecting, that forget-me-not is very much recognizable to the DAV. But it's another way that we do fundraising. The money that we raise from this specifically goes back to veterans.
Yep.
Only 100% of that money that we raise from this goes back to the veterans within our community, and we're very proud to be able to say that.
And I think that's a good point that needs to be brought up with the DAV, is that we're very focused and driven that funds received go toward veterans, yep, not other things. And you know, I'm going to go big picture real quick, but if you go to our charitable service trust fund that we have on the national level, and you go to Charitable Navigator, we are 4 stars, and we've done that 16 years in a row. And that travels down from national to the chapters, that we do it by the numbers and do it well. Great picture of Lee and Dar Shuff. They are just a wonderful couple. Lee received the Purple Heart in Korea, and he served in Vietnam as well.
Yep.
And served in the Marine Corps. Great people.
Yep.
So another good shot coming up here. I've always liked this one. Can you fill us in, Commander?
And this is a shot. We had the opportunity to support and work with the university back here last year, working with their suicide prevention program. So in this picture here, you'll see myself and again our chapter commander working with the university and presenting them with a check to support them through the mission. And also a couple of our members actually did that walk.
Yeah.
Adam Alexander.
Adam Alexander and Dave Felton, as a show of support, actually did the walk that was laid out for the students.
And so it's really another good example of giving back and working in the community. And again, this is the veterans group that is at the university. So again, it's another example of working with those veterans.
There we keep going. This is exciting. Oh, okay. I know I get excited about this stuff. I can't help it. So, but this is a good example at the warming shelter. What happened? Just to fill in real quick. Part of a church group, and on a Sunday night we were helping out with supper, and I had my DAV hat on, and a guy said to me, "Hey, I served," and he sat down and he showed me his DD-214 and Purple Heart and the whole shebang. And so the next day we met with the director at the warming shelter and said, "You guys see veterans?" And they did. And so tell us about the collaboration that occurred.
Yeah, this is another nice one. So we always get the number estimated of how many homeless veterans that we currently have in our area going through the warming shelter. And we work together. Our national organization is kind enough to provide us with the backpacks that you see there. The chapter provides the money to supply the homeless veterans with socks, mittens, writing utensils, tablets, snacks, all those types of different things. And then the auxiliary, we provide them with the gift cards to help them on those days when the warming shelter is not open during the day. They actually can either go to a Hardee's or go someplace and get something to drink. So again, it's just another example of how we partner together with our chapter.
But you know, it goes back to the mission. What do we talk about? That veterans live lives of dignity and respect.
Yeah.
And when our brothers and sisters are going through tough times, it's the DAV.
Yep.
We're going to be there. Next picture. Hey, a good picture here.
And again, it's just another community activity here. We're getting ready and preparing for Veterans Day.
And
at the courthouse.
Was that a cold day?
It was a very cold day. It was a very cold day. Actually, this year the Veterans Day program will be moved inside to the American Legion post, so it may be a little bit warmer this year.
We'll see.
Yeah, it was quite chilly.
But you're bringing up a good point, because we're at, as we saw in the previous picture, we support all those community events. We're always there. We never forget our veterans. So next picture, hey. Good shot here. And
this was our most recent, just back not too long ago, our POW and MIA event that is held here in Oshkosh. Our speaker this year was Rodney Helgenson, that was there to speak, one of our past department commanders, and did a great job speaking and updating us on the numbers of the POWs and MIAs, but a great event to be part of.
And the DAV Chapter Auxiliary, we had great representatives, and just kind of looking left to right, we got John Heft. John is a past department commander. He is our unit adjutant or chapter adjutant. Rodney, I should mention, Rodney is also was awarded the Purple Heart in Vietnam, Marine Corps. Julie and myself, and then just a great guy to the far right is George Gillis. George has been on this show before, and George served in the Marine Corps, Vietnam veteran, and he was a chapter commander and district commander. So, you know, again, just people well versed within the organization. So next picture. Well, more pictures or not? I think we're coming up with some. This is a wonderful picture of the auxiliary.
This is just one of these fun things. This is one of the neatest things I've had to do as a unit commander, and recognize this lady here. This is our Rosie, and she's our chapter, our unit chapter, and we were recognizing her that past summer at our picnic for 63 years of service with the auxiliary. And she's just extremely proud of it. And
this picture actually made it in the national magazine.
It did. I mean, just a great lady, and she knew nothing about the certificate that National recognized with, or her flowers, and she just thought it was the greatest thing. But 63 years involved in our auxiliary.
Keep her going, keep her going. More pictures. This is one thing important to share is that people, we have elections, we have one-year terms, and this was a good example of what happens at that local level.
Yep, and here it's just, and we just have a past state commander there that's swearing in at the unit level, the officers every year. They're elected, they're nominated and elected and sworn in. And here one of our past state commanders is there swearing in at that time those unit officers.
Yeah, and the person swearing in is Nancy Lee. And we have a nice connection with auxiliary units, you know, throughout the state. What I think it's like 14 units across the state.
Units, yes.
And there's Nancy to the left.
Yep, both 210
And
both past state commanders there, and Linda Griesbach is also right now is currently our state chaplain.
yeah, and we're all very supportive of each other. So next slide, please. Picture. Now we're going to make the jump. We were talking about the local picture. We have the state commander here. And so, Commander Julie, if you could kind of give that bigger picture of now the state for auxiliary.
They wanted to give me, I have to say this, a stool to stand on there, but as you can see, I didn't need one. I am able to see over that podium, but one of the neat honors as the state commander is to be able to stand in front of the department side, the DAV side, at state convention and update them on the current events of the auxiliary and what's going on, our numbers, and thanking them for the past year of support. So that was a pretty neat honor.
Okay, and so, you know, we've gotten a sense of some of the activities at the local level, state, and here's a really great picture right here.
Yeah, this is myself and State Commander Matt Kempinen with Mary Kohler, Secretary Mary Kohler, at that same state convention last summer.
And one thing I can tell you, you know, living at home, is that Commander Matt and yourself, Commander Julie, you know, you guys are on the phone all the time, kind of giving updates back and forth, and just where can we work together, where can we collaborate, and it's really kind of fun to be able to watch. Next picture, please. I love this picture, if I can do the thing, but again, it gives you the sense of what we do. But that picture was actually taken at the Green Bay Packers organization. And together, the Department of Wisconsin DAV and Auxiliary did a presentation to the foundation, to one of their representatives, and that was kind of a big moment for us.
And I think the neatest thing for me coming out of this one was, you know, we're all excited that we're meeting with the Green Bay Packers and their organization. We're in front of them. We get this chance, and, you know, we're all kind of in awe of this. This is pretty cool stuff. The neat thing about it was, she was in awe to be with us. So by the time we were done presenting, you know, our story and what we do and what we're about, she was in tears.
Yeah.
You know, and sharing her experiences of her father, I believe. So it was a neat experience for her and for us.
Okay. And then next, and this picture I really like because we had a very good collaboration with A&W, and literally A&W kicked off after World War I, and all the troops were coming home. And so we were having DAV days, and I can remember being here in Oshkosh, you know, helping out with the staff there. It was kind of a good time. And this was at, I believe, was this Lambeau Field?
Yep.
Yeah, and that we had Rudy. Rudy showed up, and so he fill in that a little bit?
You know, just that another neat partnership that raising funds that A&W that we've partnered with over the last few years, and that was a big kickoff that 1 year for it. So, and I apologize if that's a Veterans Day they do that on, or if it's a separate day.
Well, it was
more in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, they did it in the summer in August. But, you know, the thing that I just always remember was the respect between the organizations, and then being at the national conference. I remember they presented a good-sized check. and
And
even
free root beer
for
floats.
the local.
Oh yes, free ripper floats.
Yeah, free root beer float. Only with the DAV can this happen.
Yeah.
So I know how are we doing for time, Scott?
8 minutes.
How many? 8? Oh, we're good. Okay, let's keep rolling.
He's excited.
This picture was kind of cool, and there's kind of a story behind it. But this is where we went to. Remember, we went to Chippewa Falls, and together, Auxiliary Department, checking out the homeless shelter. And do you remember what that was like for you? And
Oh yeah, I think anytime you're in a homeless shelter and faced with the reality of what those people live with, but also that our veterans out there that are in that situation, but yet being very impressed with the facility and the veterans that were walking around there, and they're not walking around there moping or sad or complaining. They're just happy to have this place and this place to eat and some good foods. And
I love this photo. This is about generations.
it is. And here, this is one of our trips to Union Grove. It's interesting as we look at all these pictures because they're, of course, all a little pre-COVID. So, the last year or so has been a little bit quieter for us. So it's kind of neat to go back and see all the different activities. But, it's myself and of course, Michael. And then our granddaughter, one of our junior members, they're serving veterans lunch that day.
And that I think is a really good point. Real quick, is with DAV membership, what qualifies you to be a member of the auxiliary? Who can be a member of the auxiliary?
Go ahead. No, you
ahead.
can run with this one, my dear.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. You do.
An honorably discharged veteran and their family can join the Disabled American Veterans and the auxiliary, and their grandchildren, their nieces, nephews,
Yeah,
spouses of a spouse of a female vet that served and the husband may not have served. He can also join our auxiliary, be part of it.
That is an excellent point, because it's not one of those things where the male veterans go in one room and then the female family members go in another. I was a civil affairs guy back in Iraq and Afghanistan, and our troops, 25% of them were females. And DAV recognizes the impact of female veterans. And also, we had like the very first male National Auxiliary Commander.
Correct.
Craig Johnakins, so that was
right.
pretty cool.
Sadly, he passed away, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's still.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's
God
still
rest
there.
his soul. Wow. And here's another picture right up here. Phyllis and Julie.
And this is just us recently at our Fall National Conference. This is myself presenting from our State Department of Wisconsin, the new national commander with checks for two of their different programs.
So you've gotten a good sense of what we do at the local level. You've gotten a sense of the state level. We've touched on national. Now, an important component coming up right now, and that's why we're really blessed with Patty being here, is talking about that transportation network. Okay, let's bring it local. Let's bring it right down to here. Monday through Friday at Perkins, a van will actually show up and we'll pick up veterans in our area. We have people that are in need of transportation. Phyllis and Patty, we have a great picture of a typical DAV van. What does the network do? Who can get the rides? What about drivers?
Okay. Well, the program started back in 1986 when the VA cut travel of a lot of the veterans. DAV stepped in and started a program. We used to have privately owned vehicle drivers. The DAV would pay them their mileage to go and transport veterans. We slowly got into getting vans. We now have 50 vans throughout the state. Any veteran, as long as they're ambulatory, can get in and out of the vehicle on their own. We're throughout the whole state. All they have to do is you can call me at the number below, and I will direct you into the right area of where you live. Might be a hit or miss. You might have to meet them at a stop. Some pick them up at their homes. We always in need of volunteer drivers. You don't have to be a veteran. You can be just an ordinary person wanting to fill in some volunteer time. Starts early in the morning, usually, 6:30.
Do you have to
4
be a
7.
veteran to be a driver?
No, you do not.
So anybody can be a driver.
Yes.
That, now, do you have to take like a physical or
Yeah,
anything?
you have to take a physical. You have to do a background check. You have to
Okay.
pass that. Then you'll have a screening with voluntary services, kind of a training thing. Then you'll have a road test. Most of the places do road tests. Make sure you know how to steer the vehicle, because the vehicles are, some of them are high profile, so some don't like to drive the high profile, so we try to make sure they can maneuver those around. And then they have their training.
And so, well, the other thing I think that is that drivers are able to do, I mean, if they want to drive 5 days a week, they can.
Correct.
Or if, hey, they can only do it maybe once a month for 1 day.
Correct. And we try to encourage at least once a week if they can, or at least once or twice a month. Some drivers drive 2 or 3 days a week because of the shortage that we are now in.
Okay.
Because of COVID, we have lost pretty many drivers. So we're trying to rebuild our pool back up. The van that serves Oshkosh area here comes out of Appleton. And then it stops in Oshkosh, stops in Fond du Lac, and then into Milwaukee.
Okay. Okay. So if you're a veteran and you need to get to your VA appointment, and that veteran, do they have to be a DAV member or not?
No. Any
Okay.
veteran, as long as they're able to get in and out of the vehicle and that we can accommodate them.
Okay. Okay. And that's a good thing. So veterans, if you need to get to that VA appointment, we are there for you. And so you can contact that number. The second thing, and I look toward you, the viewership, we need drivers. We need drivers. And, you have the ability to make a difference in the life of veterans. Because sometimes people go, what can I do? How can I help? How can I make that difference? And this is that opportunity. And so just give Patty a call at that number. If you could flash it there, that number is 414-384-2000. And there's the extension 45715.
Absolutely.
And then Patty will be able to kind of guide the way. And again, to be able to make that difference in the life of veterans is huge. So, when you take a look at things, because we're going to kind of wrap up right now, what about what you do with the auxiliary touches your heart and brings you the greatest joy?
To me, it's when that veteran comes up to you and says, thank you for what you're doing, thank you for the little gift or whatever that we give them, knowing that we are there to help them, that they're not lost in a system somewhere. We try our best to make sure that doesn't happen.
It's huge.
I think that recognition of their service, that they are appreciated and will always be appreciated, being the sister of a Vietnam veteran and what that was like. So to be able to let them know that they are being thanked and caring for them, and like Patty said, those smiles that you see when you go into a VA facility and work with them, that especially if there's no family left anymore, it goes back to that bottom line, treating them with that dignity and respect.
Thank you very much. Commander Julie, Adjutant Patty Davis, thank you so much for being here. That wraps up another edition of The Outpost. Thank you so much for watching. And again, we are the Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 17, Ray H. Fuller, Winnebago County.